Hi everybody, my name is David. I'm a KOK-PLAY Frontier from the Genesis Group. Today, I'm going to give you guys some serious news, all right? Now, if you guys keep up with inflation, you'll know that in America, they just had the highest inflation spike since 1982. This was in the early years of President Reagan, okay? And so 6.8% inflation spike. And remember, this is the way they're using the 2000 methods, okay? You guys, if you really look back, all right, this is by Shadow Stats. Inflation, by the way they measured it in the 1990s, is really above 10%. And inflation, the way they measured it in the 1980s, okay, 1980s, you're reaching around 15%. All right, the red line is the way they measure the CPI, inflation, consumer price index, is the red line, which is at 6.8. But if you go by the 1980s, we're already at 15%. Okay, if you're wondering why that is, what is the difference between how they measure back in the 1980s and now, would be that in the 1980s, if you were eating steak, they will measure the inflation based on if you would still eat steak right now. You know, if you're eating steak in 2020 around this time of the year, how much has steak gone up in 2021 in this time of year? However, the way they measure inflation now is, instead of saying that, yeah, you were eating steak in 2020 around this time of year, you're just going to replace steak and replace it with chicken, and we're going to average cost in the price of chicken as a replacement for steak and put all that into the CPI. And that's why it's lower. I mean, it's cheap methods like that. You know, rent. Rent is like, instead of saying how much the owners will actually charge the renters, the rentees, right? Not renters. The renters would charge the rentees. They'll say, well, okay, you're the landlord. How much would you charge yourself for rent? And they use that as the CPI. But obviously, how much you would charge yourself in comparison to how much you would charge someone else is different. Okay? So, yeah, I mean, obviously, if you go to the streets and go to the supermarket, you know prices are higher. Or even if you shop online. And if you want to know why some things are deflationary, which is true, what it is like, you look at technology, cell phones, electronics, TVs. Sure, in terms of technology and phone services, okay, let's say some of those products or services went down. And so you would average cost that into your regular consumer prices of food and gasoline. And so those things are deflationary because technology, as it advances, will, those products and services go down in prices. Because the better technology you get, the better service and products you get, even as the price goes down, and in terms of dollar value. But let's be honest, you're not buying a TV every day. You're not buying a phone every day. You're not buying a refrigerator every day. You're not buying, your phone service. Okay, you might pay that once a month. Netflix, I don't know, once a month, once a year, depending on how you pay it, right? But now we got to look at gas and food. Well, you fill up gas more than once a month, I would imagine. I do. I fill up my gas tank like twice a week. Um, you don't food, right? You buy TV or something, which is deflationary. Sure, you're getting a better product, better service, for a lower price. But how many times do you buy a TV? Once every 2-3 years? What about food? We buy food like every day or every other, you're going to go shopping. you grocery shopping once or twice a week, I imagine. In my case, I eat out because I work. I'm always on the run, just working, and so I buy food every day. And so you look at the CPI, is it really kind of, does it add all that in? No, it doesn't. But the CPI is still the highest from 1982. Okay? The CPI is the highest since 1982. Now, here's the problem. I want you to look at this. It says, I'm looking here, after languishing. Okay, so after languishing below normal levels for most part of the decade, inflation has spiked since spring as COVID vaccination increased and the economy reopened following last year's government order shutdowns. The shutdowns, granted, sure, you could say there is a case for it, but because you didn't know how deadly this virus would have been, and you had to be better safe than sorry in terms of saving lives. So you did have these shutdowns, which lowered production of products and services while you were just handing out free money to people directly at home, right? You're sending money directly to their homes, to their bank accounts. And so you have more base money in people's hands with fewer goods and services. And it's free money. It's not really free. People have to pay for it in the future. They just don't realize it. So when you have fewer goods and services, fewer actual products with more cash, it's going to cause those products and services to go up. Especially when people think it's free, then they'll even spend it even faster because they didn't earn it. They don't care if they save it or not. And so now you see the pains of it, right? Laugh now, cry later. People are crying later right now as inflation is at an all-time high in 40 years. But things, to be honest, it's going to get worse. And I'm going to tell you why. And this could happen in America. Right here, what's behind the COVID protests across Europe? Well, first, also let me tell you that in Europe, inflation is record high, and this is the Eurozone. You have certain countries in Europe where it hasn't been this bad in a long time. All right, so the figure was as high as on record in 25 years that the data has been compiled. Like here, look at this. Higher energy prices contribute to the most latest inflation reading. According to Europe statistics, Eurostat energy is on track for its highest annual price in November, 27.4%. Okay. Look at Germany. In Germany, a country historically scared of high inflation, the inflation rate hit high of 29-year high in November. 29-year high. So it's not, and I live in Asia. I live in Korea. I went to the grocery store today to buy some food. I fill up gas. I'm a consumer. Sure, I'm a very productive person. I paid a lot more tax than I've ever paid. My wife's paid more tax than she ever paid because she has a business. And I tell you what, inflation definitely is in Korea, which I imagine is in Asia as well. So the whole world has been hit with inflation. But this is what I want y'all to look at is in Europe, they're having stricter measures to curb the latest wave of the pandemic. Vaccine mandates, maybe lockdowns in some European countries. So what's going to happen is, like America or what Biden tried to pass, Europe, and who knows what's going to happen. Hopefully it won't go this far in Asia. But what happens is once again, it goes both ways. I can understand what they're trying to do to protect people, but what's going to happen is you have these lockdowns. fewer people can work. And so these countries become less productive. When you're less productive, what happens? What happens is you're going to make less products and services. And so Europe, because they're human beings like all of us, we're all human beings, they're going to have to continue to buy products and they're going to continue to need services. But they're not producing all the products and services that they need. So what happens is they're going to have to get more products and services from Asia. And so what happens then is the products and services provided by Asia that gets shipped over to Europe is going to be bigger inflation because you're going to have more money chasing fewer goods. And so these Asian companies or factories will rather send their products to Europe, because those citizens are willing to pay more money for those same products and services that they could sell for a cheaper price domestically, but you want to make money. So you're going to send it over to places who are willing to, citizens who are willing to pay more money. And so that's going to inflate the prices in Asia. And then America might follow suit as well. Because, President Biden is very left-leaning. And so if you have a country like America, and they're the global reserve, they could continue to print more money. If you look at the dollar, okay, hold on. If you look at the dollar, the DXY, and let's look at the dollar in a 3-month term, you're wondering, why is the dollar so strong when it's printed so much money, when there's so much inflation? The dollar is strong not because the dollar is strong. The dollar is this strong because the whole world printed so much money that if you think America printed a lot of money, this just means that in Europe and other parts and other governments, they printed even more money. So the dollar is relatively this strong in comparison to the other currencies. I hope you all understand that. So this is 3 years ago. The dollar was going down. It's not going down to itself. It's going down compared to other currencies. And now that the dollar's going up, it's not going up because the dollar's getting stronger. The dollar's going up because the other currencies are getting weaker. Okay? So dollar has, they have more room to go ahead and print more money. So let's say if Europe is already working on closing down, you're going to have less products and services. If the United States follows suit, you're going to even have more inflation because now you're going to have more people who are chasing more money, chasing the same goods and services. And, really, this is like China is the biggest winner here because they're the most productive. They're producing the most products, right? Asian country, Korea, Singapore, Korea and Singapore with the semiconductor chips and all the other products that are made, rather it's in Japan, Vietnam, and, So what happens is these countries are all bidding up, trying to fight each other and willing to pay more money for the same products and services. And so you're going to see inflation on goods and services. And you better hope this doesn't hit the farming market because then food becomes more expensive. So if you think 2021 was bad, 2022, I imagine, will start out worse. And if they can't get their act together, 2023 and 24 will be even worse. Inflation is gonna look pretty ugly. Okay, I'm sorry. Why is it doing that? Oh, that's why. Hold on. Okay. All right. It's gonna look ugly. I'm just telling y'all right now. Now, here's another thing. You look at the states, more than 5 and 6 temporarily closed businesses have reopened. This was in October 2021. Okay, so a lot of businesses here, U.S. small business closure are ticking back toward COVID. Here, that's in April 9, 2021. Okay, but now, if you look at now in October, November, December, a lot of these temporarily closed businesses, from what they're claiming, has reopened. But if you restart these lockdowns, they're going to close back down. And a lot of them is going to close down permanently. Maybe a lot, you know. And so this is kind of like, I'm letting y'all know just my opinion from what I'm seeing. Things are about to get worse with inflation by how a lot of these governments are reacting with stricter regulatory methods of trying to bring down all the infection rate of COVID-19. And why am I talking about, inflation? Well, I'm talking about inflation and because I'm like you, I'm a human being. I'm a dad. I have sons. I have children, right? I have 2 sons. And this is the thing. I want the hard-earned currency, the money that I work for, or the currency I work for, to have its purchasing value. I want to store that currency into something that I think will hold its purchasing value instead of the value of it going down, but to at least stay the same or go up until when I need it for emergency. And one of the assets that I really believe is going to hold my purchasing value, if not make that purchasing value go up when I invest into that currency, because KOK-COIN is not an asset like gold and silver. It's a currency. It's called KOK-COIN cryptocurrencies because it's a currency in that ecosystem, the KOK-COIN ecosystem on the KOK-COIN platform, which will be later a metaverse, right? And so when I look at KOK-COIN, when I look at the value, when I look at this chart, I buy KOK-COINs, I use it to mine, and what I get back is going to give me back a lot more than the initial investment in case I need it, right? And so that's what I wanted to show y'all, that KOK-COIN is a great... Now, I'm not your financial advisor. I'm not telling y'all what to do. All right, this is like it's just an educational video. I'm just telling you what I'm doing. What am I doing? I'm personally going in KOK-COIN. Not, I don't put all my eggs in one basket, but obviously I am going into KOK-COIN because why? To me, it is a great hedge against inflation. Okay? Just look at the chart. Look at the chart. Look how much has gone up. 2,245.9% in a year. Okay? That's a lot higher. That's a lot higher than 6.8%. You all understand what I'm saying? Okay? And so that's why I mine. All right? That's why I mine. That's why I try to get other people to join underneath me and have them mine. And so we all can work together to overcome this hardship of inflation. Imagine, because inflation is a war against savers. You understand? If you save $100,000, but every year you have 5% inflation, then I guess, who knows, 10 years from now, your $100,000 can only buy $50,000 worth of stuff 10 years later. They stole that much. It's actually even more because the inflation is compound. So you won't even buy $50,000 worth of stuff 10 years later. That's a war. Okay, they just stole your purchasing power. They robbed you of your purchasing power. And that's what they're doing to all of us. And that's some serious frustration, because someone like me, I wake up like 6 in the morning. I don't finish work till 11:30 p.m. after waking up 6 in the morning. For my sons, I work hard. For my wife, try to be productive, pay my taxes, even though I think I'm getting overtaxed. And then the governments around the world want to inflate all this money, where if I save currency, I'm going to lose over 50% of my purchasing power if I just leave it in the bank for 10 years. That gets me freaking angry. So as a father, I need to find, or if you're a mother, it doesn't matter, I need to find methods where the money that I want to save, I could save it into something that's going to hold its purchasing power in case I really need it. And to me, once again, what is that? Well, one of it is KOK-COIN. Okay? Because KOK-COIN, there is a limit to the amount of KOK-COIN currencies, these coins. And the more people use it, the more it gets burned. And the more people use it, more people will join. And the more services and products KOK-COIN, the platform, produces, and now the product, which is Metaverse, is going to allow people to provide services and products on the Metaverse. So you're going to see a lot of interactions, commerce, development, a real ecosystem. It's like a country on the platform, on the Metaverse, right? With its own currency, but the currency is limited. And so you're going to see people using outside currencies to purchase the KOK-COIN coins, which is the KOK currency, which strengthens the KOK coins as more of it gets burned, as more people join, as more money gets into the ecosystem, which means the KOK coin, the value will continue to go up. And this is why I said I wouldn't be surprised at all to see like a $30 to $70 KOK coin. Wouldn't surprise me at all. And that's why KOK-COIN, that's why I mine KOK-COIN. Okay, that's why, I'm just trying, if you have to listen to this again, I'm trying to break down step by step how inflation is working and why KOK-COIN will continue to go up because of all the advancements that they're doing on the platform. Okay, you have a metaverse. You're going to see products and services on the metaverse. And you're going to see that people will be allowed to produce products and give services on the metaverse to start their own, like business on the metaverse, on the KOK metaverse. And so you're going to see more people use it up, but the currency, the KOK currency is limited. It's not like dollars and yuans and euros and wons and none of that. The yen, where they just print it. No, this is a set limit. Okay, why is the dollar strong? Also, a lot of people are buying US dollars. They're using their currencies in their country to buy up US dollars, right? Well, you're going to see people using, even like what you see now, US dollars and other currencies to buy up KOK coins, which adds value, more strength. The value of KOK coins go up. because more people will join. And then the limited supply gets smaller and smaller, which adds more value to whatever's left. You guys understand what I'm saying? I hope so. I hope y'all understand. And that's why I'm in a KOK-COIN. That's why KOK-COIN is one of my main, safe to me, is one of my safest hedges at the moment, because of all the development that I see to a future that I see where inflation is going to get worse. Once again, I'm not your financial advisor. I'm not telling you what to do, but I am telling you what I'm doing, and I told y'all some of the reasons why. If you're new to the channel, please hit the like, please hit the subscribe, leave a comment. Love to hear from you. I'll reply if I can, or if I see it actually. And if you're new to the channel, if you want to join KOK-PLAY, go to KOK, type in KOK, go to Play Store, and then type KOK space PLAY. All right, and you'll need a recommendation code, QAABIRWL. Okay, use my recommendation code, QAABIRWL. All right, everyone, take good care of yourselves. Prepare for what could be a tough winter. God bless y'all. Really, really, God bless y'all. Stay spiritually strong. All right, and coke on as always.